Where should I look for good real estate deals? Foreclosed properties. Nope, don't need that. Foreclosed, pre-foreclosed, yeah, whatever. Hello. Wait a minute. How do you buy a foreclosed property? Welcome back, everybody. Such a pleasure to be back. If you are new here, welcome. My name is AlexBeltran, and I talk about real estate tricks, tips, and topics. So, if you're in the real estate business, aspiring to join the real estate business, or you just want some guidance or references to everything that the real estate industry encompasses, then go ahead and smash that subscribe button, hit that little bell, because according to YouTube, the more subscribers you have, the better. So the topic of foreclosed properties has been something that's been on the mind of several of my clients. Given the current state of the world, there seems to be an understanding that there's going to be a lot of foreclosed properties in the near future. I mean, I'm already starting to receive emails from banks asking me as an agent to submit my information to become a certified REO agent, because landlord delinquencies and the possibility of consumer foreclosures are up, while there's a shrinking demand in real estate. I will make a separate video on the state of the real estate market, and I'm going to go ahead and link it up above once I do so. So what exactly is a foreclosure? Glad you asked. A foreclosure is the process where the lien holder takes possession of the house. This could happen for a multitude of reasons, but 9 times out of 10, it's because the borrower stopped making payments on the house. Now, every state varies on how they notify the borrower that the foreclosure process has begun, but generally speaking, the lien holder notifies the borrower via mail. You know those like physical emails that you get that just magically show up in that weird metal box in front of your house? What's that called? Dial-up internet. And in those letters, it will, 1, let you know that the foreclosure process has begun, along with how to get out of it, and 2, explains the entire process in the event that you cannot pay and choose to go through the entire foreclosure process. Foreclosure is generally broken down into 3 stages. The first stage is pre-foreclosure. This is where the borrowers start to receive letters in the mail notifying them that the foreclosure process has begun. Officially speaking, the house is not on the market yet, and you can't officially buy it. Officially. And this is because during the pre-foreclosure process, a lot of the errors get corrected. I have a client that lives in Mexico full-time, and he also owns a property in the US. He moved to a different home in Mexico and his mail wasn't forwarded to the new address. And his US home wasn't being paid. I found out that the property was going into pre-foreclosure and quickly gave my client a call. And it was corrected and taken out of the pre-foreclosure process. It happens. And then there's the other side of the coin. The people that cannot pay and are actually going to go through the entire foreclosure process. This is where a lot of savvy investors try to get a hold of the owner directly, because they may be very motivated to sell before going through the foreclosure process and being physically removed from the house. The second step is the trustee sale, otherwise known as the courthouse foreclosure auction. And this is where the attempts from the lien holder to get a hold of the borrower have failed, or the borrower has let the lien holder know that they can't make the payments. They send the file to the county where the court will auction out the house, which is where investors can now purchase the house through more official channels. And don't think that purchasing a property at this stage is easy peasy. There are a lot of hurdles that you have to go through, as well as requirements that you have to fulfill. When you buy a foreclosed property at this stage of the process, there's most likely going to be liens on the property that someone has to pay. It's probably going to have to be you. Unlike houses that are for sale on the open market, 8 times out of 10, you probably won't be able to go inside to check it out. Don't expect there to be a virtual tour of the property either, because people are still living in there. So you're taking a big gamble with not being able to properly inspect the house. This is where having extensive knowledge of repair costs, as well as experience purchasing sight unseen, comes in really handy. And with these auctions, you have to have money in hand the day of the auction. You are not going to be able to finance it. So VA loans or FHA loans at this stage of the foreclosure process is just out of the question. This is why buying a foreclosed property during the trustee sale is a very advanced form of purchasing property. You do not want to be caught slipping at this stage. From my experience, the starting bid starts at what the borrower still owed on the property. Think of it as their minimum or their reserve. Let's say that the borrower still had $50,000 left on the loan. If no one shows up to the auction or no one bids above $50,000, then essentially the bank buys it back. Which brings us to what most people consider to be foreclosed properties. It's gone through the entire court system and the foreclosed process, and the new owner takes possession of the property, be it the bank that bought it back or the person that bid the highest for the property. And now it is the new owner's job to evict the occupants. If it's the bank that keeps possession of the house, then they're going to evict the occupants and then list it for sale with a real estate agent. Banks tend to sell the house as is. A bank is not going to put any money into the house if they don't have to, with the exception of retrofits that are required by law, or maybe, just maybe, lender required repairs. That's kind of all case by case. When an investor buys a property at the auction stage, depending on the condition of the property, they may choose to repair and remodel the property before putting it back on the market, or just flip it as soon as possible as is. And this is now where it is just another listing on the MLS, and you can submit offers on the property just like any other listing. They just give you disclosures on the property letting you know that it was foreclosed, otherwise known as REO. Real estate owned. And that's the foreclosure process in a nutshell. So now, how do you find these foreclosure properties? Well, glad you asked. Well, if you're one of the brave few that wants to purchase the property at the courthouse auction, sight essentially unseen, and are okay with evicting people, then simply go to the county courthouse's website and look for the date where these auctions will be held, and show up with cash in hand and win that bid. Now, if you're looking to purchase the property after the evictions and after it's gone through the entire foreclosure process, then you can go to any real estate website like Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com. Just keep in mind that those sites are usually delayed. In a slow market, no problem. But when the markets are hot, you're gonna want the latest information. And for that, you're gonna need a real estate agent because they get the information first. But let's just say you want the information even quicker than that. Well, you can contact the bank directly. They will have an REO department that handles these types of properties before they assign to a real estate agent to put on the open market. Now, this isn't always the case. I've noticed that this is a little more common with local banks. Not so much with the bigger banks, but it's worth a try. Third way to find these properties is through the HUD website, because there are homes that are foreclosed by HUD, and they have their own proprietary website for these foreclosed properties. Keep in mind, it's a government website, so it's not flashy or very easy to navigate. And the website is hudhomestore.com. I'll go ahead and link it in the description down below. And now the fourth way to find these homes, foreclosure.com. They are a paid membership, but they compile a list of foreclosed properties at all the different stages of the foreclosure process. I personally don't use it because I'm a real estate agent and I get that information for free anyway. So I don't know how much they charge. Now, the common consensus is that foreclosure properties are the best deals in real estate. That's not true. There are a lot of variables at play at every step of the foreclosure process. You can find good deals, I'm not saying you can't. They just aren't the hidden best deals in real estate that everyone seems to think they are. Like I always tell you guys, make sure to rely on your numbers. If you're looking at these homes and don't know exactly what you're looking for, feel free to ask for help. There's always a real estate agent that's going to be willing to help you out. Now, if you can't find someone to help you, feel free to contact me. My email is in the description down below. I can analyze the property and let you know if it's a good buy or not. Also, make friends with contractors and handyman that can give you a pretty good ballpark estimate of repair costs. And that brings me to the question of the day. Today is April 23rd, 2020. When do you think foreclosures are going to start hitting the market in large scale? Summer months? Winter months? First quarter of 2021? Or never going to happen? And what are you doing to prepare for this? I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Go ahead and comment in the comment section down below. If you found this video informative or entertaining, go ahead and smash that like button because that lets YouTube know that I'm awesome. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do so because that makes me look so much better to potential sponsors. If you want to keep up to date with everything that I'm doing in real estate, go ahead and follow me on Instagram. If you want to watch more real estate related content, I'm going to go ahead and link it here and here. This bottom video right here, recommend it. Other than that, catch you guys next week. Peace.